Hey, stay tuned to this Body Talk where you'll see me and Marlene wearing blue. No, seriously, we are talking about college students going off to classes, moving away from home, and staying safe and healthy. So stay tuned. Glad you could stick with us. Here with Marlene Childers, the campus nurse, and school has started and the kids are here. And it seems like whenever school starts, people are dragging germs in from everywhere.
And a matter of fact,
it doesn't have to be cold to get sick.
No. As a matter of fact, right now, I've seen about 4 or 5 students in the past 2 days with nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. So it's already starting.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you get together, you mix all the germs up.
So it's there. And so welcome back to the University of Rio Grande. Today we're going to talk about some topics about college health and safety. So we'll be covering some social and sexual pressures, the temptation of becoming readily available to alcohol, drugs, and unhealthy food, and the challenge of getting enough sleep, and stress from trying to balance classes, friends, sports, jobs, homework, etc. Okay? So we'll start out and offering some few tips here for the students so that they can hopefully stay healthy and safe in college. To begin with, we're going to talk about some physical activity. So it's important that you get 2.5 hours of physical activity a week.
Oh.
Okay.
I was ready for you to say a day.
I know. No, actually, they're just
It'd
saying.
It'd probably be better if you had that.
It would. Of course, more is better when it comes to physical activity, but they're saying at least 2.5 hours.
No, that's one of the things that kind of puzzles me, because if I did some of the things that some of these students do, I'd be sick. But I think this is proof of what you're saying. You need activity in your life to stay healthy.
That's right.
Because it'll be like 60 degrees and the cross-country team will be out there running in the rain.
Yes.
In like shorts and T-shirts and stuff. And like, man, I'd have pneumonia if I did that. But these people are out there like daily running.
Yes, they are. And what about when they're in 90-plus degree weather and it's so humid and so... You know, that can also be on the other opposite end of where, you know, that can be kind of harmful if you're not taking in proper fluids and so forth.
Yeah, that's another important thing. Drink enough. Drink water.
Right.
And I read something where you just maybe shouldn't just limit it to water. You should have a variety of things so your body doesn't like get used to one thing.
Right, and so Gatorade is a good example because you're putting electrolytes into your body, important sodium and potassium and some magnesium.
And like Mountain Dew, right?
Well, no, I'm not going to say yes to Mountain Dew. No, but
pop's not a good thing.
No, never. It's just sugar. That's a lot of sugar.
Right.
That most of us don't need, you know.
And as far as I've kind of surmised in the past 10 years or so, you know, they say stay away from salt, which you should probably not have a lot of salt. But I think sugar is probably more harmful.
I agree with that, definitely.
Because that's what, you know, cancers and different things live on is the sugars.
That's right.
And the purified sugars and the corn syrups and all that type of thing. You want to stay away from those things, refined sugars too.
And so I was just reading the other day where they recommended that we only have about 20 6 milligram or grams of sugar a day. And so I was eating yogurt when I heard this, and so I just went to look at my label on my can of yogurt. And for one serving, 2/3 cup, it had 23 grams of sugar.
So you're done for the
So
day.
I'm done. Like, that only leaves me with 3 grams of sugar
And that was
for
yogurt.
my daily consumption.
Now, if you would get that sugar, say like from strawberries or watermelon or, a fruit,
Right.
that's
then
probably different.
different, much different. It's not that
Than a
refined
sugar-coated
sugar added.
cereal or
Yes,
something.
yes. But who would have guessed, low-fat yogurt, vanilla flavor, that it would have so many grams of sugar. So it just goes to show you that you've got to check your labels, because before you know it, you've taken in, that was just one meal for me, just breakfast. So I've already met my grams of sugar. And so then you start putting on weight,
Right.
if you're taking in more and more. And so anyway, but, physical fitness, being physical active, really reduces many, many conditions regarding your health, which is diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, just to name some common ones.
Right.
So being physical is very important.
Plus, I can't remember what they are. You probably know it. The stress hormones.
The endorphins and
You
so
can
forth.
work those out of your system through
Correct,
activity.
yes.
So they're not staying with you and then more tomorrow and more tomorrow, and this kind of like degrades your health.
That's right, yep.
So you need to give it a fight, and get rid of some of that.
But it's just a matter of finding something that you enjoy and sticking with it.
And you don't have to
So,
run.
No,
Walking's good. And
absolutely.
probably walking's better for your
better
joints.
for your joints, absolutely, as we age, of course, But the next thing, and we've talked a little bit about this, is balancing your diet. So I mentioned about sugar and so forth. And so, it's real easy to get to college and you're away from your parents, and so a lot of times you just go for vending machine food or high carb foods such as pizza, fries and so forth, because those are always offered in the cafeteria. And so you have to be very careful about what you're choosing to eat daily. Because there's so many foods that that are loaded with calories and sodium and fat and sugar. So you want to try to make healthy choices and eat more fruits and vegetables. But of course, that's really difficult when you're in a cafeteria and you don't really have a lot to choose from.
Yeah, choices are hard to make. I think the culture and the availability of all these convenient foods, if you look back to the 70s, I'm not going to go back to the 60s, 70s and 80s, if you looked at the student population, they're not nearly as heavy as they are now.
Right, that's correct.
Even 90s, but
Right.
since, mid 90s and later, people have really just gotten heavier.
Well, and I remember when my kids were growing up and I was running them to soccer and cheerleading and, we were just going every which way. And so it was nothing to stop at McDonald's. It's just so easy to get a cheeseburger and fries for the kids. And then the next thing I know, I look around and, my son's putting on weight, and I'm like, oh, we gotta back off of this, and so, but they gotta have dinner too. So, when you're trying to juggle work and everything, it makes it difficult to
Right.
get healthy foods. But I think we've come a long way today. Even in McDonald's, they offer better choices,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
do.
Mm-hmm.
They're not popular maybe, but they're
Right,
better.
but they're better, you know. In kids' meals, you get apples and, you know, it's been a long time since I bought a kids' meal, but, you know, used to it just would be a burger and fries, and, you know, but now
Or some chicken nuggets or something.
there's healthier choices in those, you know, fast food restaurants. And of course, just on TV last week, you know, we had the Whopper that came out vegetarian.
Oh, yeah. That's
And
a nice
I wanted to
alternative.
try that, and I'm looking forward to trying that because they're saying it tastes just like a Whopper. Well, if we can do without the beef,
But what
because-
chemicals are in it that are substituting?
well, I probably don't want to know that. You know. But
Just saying.
anyway, I know.
Just because it's vegetarian doesn't necessarily make
No,
it
doesn't
better.
make it better.
I mean, you could eat pasta 5 times a week
Yeah.
and be vegetarian
Yeah.
and pack it on.
That's right. Load those carbs up. Too.
Right.
Next thing we need to look at is, you know, preventing STIs, sexually transmitted infections. And so if you,
It seems like since the, you know, going back to 70s and 80s, it seems like it's become a lot more casual than it used to be.
It
You know,
is.
you might go
yes.
out with somebody for weeks and not go there.
Right.
You know, but now it's not uncommon to just first
Well,
date.
they have casual sex. You
Right.
know, you don't have to be in love with anybody or have feelings. It's just casual. It's just
Well, that
very
was fun.
casual. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, so, you know, and I think that's what the problem is. They don't get to know this person well enough because I'm telling you, if I were out there today, young and single, I'd be asking, you know, if I even thought about wanting to become,
Intimate.
yes, and take that additional step, I'd be like, okay, have you ever used IV drugs? Have you ever been with anybody that used IV drugs? You know, those are 2 questions that I would for sure be asking. And hopefully the person that you're with would be honest because it can be very harmful to you if you're, you know, not asking these questions or getting to know this person, or if you're not using protection. I mean, it can be very harmful to your health.
And I think that's where a lot of the confusion comes with consent. You know, if you've only known this person hours and maybe not days, weeks, months, where you get to know them, well, then interpreting what a stranger is trying to tell you where they're not totally comfortable with you yet
Right.
is a little bit more difficult. So
Yes.
it would be nice if people made better choices and got to know each other before they went that far.
Absolutely. And I think that happens.
And use protection. You know, it's
yes.
cheap.
Yes.
You know, they keep saying we don't have access. Like, oh yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. I have a basket of condoms up in health services that are available for any student just to come in and get a handful as much as you want. I don't care. You know,
They're
free.
Do you have to refill that often?
I've already filled it up this week.
Oh, okay.
And we've been
Well, I
in
just
school,
wasn't sure
what,
if people were
week
too bashful to come in.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Because it's just out there. So nobody sees
I'll have
what
a
they...
Tootsie Roll and
Yeah.
one of those.
Nobody sees them taking them. You know, there's nobody just watching over it. So
Right.
no, it's a good idea. You
Okay.
know,
That's good.
but I will tell you this. You know, if you are sexually active and you're a female, aged 25 years or younger, please get tested for chlamydia every year. Okay, if you are sexually active, you've got to be tested for chlamydia yearly, because this is a very common STI. It is treatable, but if a lot of times you don't know that you have chlamydia. You may not have symptoms until it's late stage into the infection. But please, please, they are saying to please get tested every year if you are sexually active, because chlamydia can be harmful to you and make you sterile to where you can't have children.
Okay.
So that's a real important
Can they get
call
that
there.
tested in your office?
No, they
But
have
they
to
do
go.
have AIDS testing at your office.
Not no more.
No?
That contract has ended.
Oh.
We were getting that through Portsmouth City Health Department, but they have canceled now.
Oh.
The funds aren't available. I think
Where can you go get tested? The hospitals, I guess?
at the hospital and also at Gallia County Health Department. The health
okay.
departments,
Is that free, or do you have to,
I believe it is free.
probably for residents?
I would say anybody that wants to be tested, I think, yeah. But
And a lot of people who come here for school and live in the dorms, then you probably become a resident at
they
that
are
point.
residents of Gallia County
Right.
when they live in the dorms, yes. So
Or
something to
residence
think
halls, as
about.
they'd rather say.
But everybody should know their HIV status. Everybody. Everybody that's headset should know their HIV status. Next, it's important that you come to college with your vaccines, being immunized against measles, mumps, rubella, varicella, which is chickenpox, and meningitis, the viral meningitis. And now there's meningitis B out, a bacterial meningitis.
And that goes around every couple years.
It
too.
does. Well, we've not had any cases since I've been here.
Okay,
I've
that's
been
good.
here going on 9 years, so we've not had, I
It
mean,
seems like I hear about it somewhere.
OU's had, I think, 2 or 3 cases in the past few years. So meningitis, please make sure that you get those vaccinations if you're living in a dorm on a college campus, because you can get meningitis very quickly and deteriorate, and it can cause death. So the best thing I can tell you is do not share eating utensils, do not drink after other people, don't share razors, don't share anything, okay? Now shampoo's fine, but if it involves body fluids or blood, you don't share.
Or the possibility of blood.
Right.
I mean,
You
a razor
don't
may
share.
not,
Yes,
but you could.
the potential's there.
Right.
That you could, cut
And you
yourself.
don't know if that person cut themselves or not.
That's right. And then I recommend the HPV vaccination, which is Gardasil, and that's for both girls and boys now, to prevent you from getting the human papilloma virus, which is essentially condyloma, known as warts.
What are the symptoms?
Well, you can have, condyloma, or AKA warts, that can erode on your private area.
We don't need any
Women,
erosion of anything.
well, that's good. And women can have abnormal pap smears and get condyloma on their cervix and not even be aware that that's there. And that can cause cervical cancer.
Okay.
So, please make sure that you get your vaccines. Ohio is mandated K through 12 that you have these vaccines. So by the time you get to college in Ohio, normally you have all these vaccines. But it's the individuals that come from other states or international students, so we got to make sure that they're healthy and that they've got their vaccinations as well. And then, of course,
Because in a place like a residence hall, things can travel quickly because
Very
there's
quickly.
a shared restroom.
Oh, my, yes.
Everybody's living in a tight quarters,
that's right.
so
Yeah.
it's even more important.
And then another, tip here, you want to make sure that you're getting adequate sleep. And so adults should get 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night.
Okay. I think I need a nap right now.
I do too. Because, I've never been one
A
to get
siesta
much
is always
sleep.
nice.
But fiesta or siesta.
Yeah.
Siesta and fiesta.
Sure.
But anyway, yeah, so, if you're feeling tired throughout the day or you're getting sleepy in class, then that should tell you that you're not getting enough rest.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to get your rest to keep you healthy. If you get sick and you come in and see me, the last thing I always tell students is please make sure you're getting plenty of rest because it's so important. And then we want to maintain mental health, okay? And mental health is a large topic in today's society. And so, anxiety is there. And sometimes if you cannot focus on anything, you can't study, then, maybe you need to talk to somebody. Maybe you're having feelings of loneliness or homesickness. We do have counselors here on campus, and they're here Monday through Thursdays. We offer counseling free of charge. So if there's any student that is in need of some mental health counseling or any thoughts of suicide or anything, then please reach out to us because we have counseling services available and they are free to you. And we can make you appointments at any time. So that's a real big plus here at this campus. But, of course, suicide, let me just tell you this. If ever you have feelings of suicide, then you need to reach out.
Or self-harm,
Yes,
there's people that
self-harm
cut
too.
and,
Yes.
they just damage themselves.
Yes. And anyway, but we've got some phone numbers here for you. And also just to let you know that you want to be aware that campus security, you want to know their number. And if at any time you feel like that you're in violation, sexual assault, that you're feeling like, somebody is stalking you or something, then you need to reach out. And so we have some really important numbers here on the screen there. There's URG campus police number. And if there's an emergency on campus, to call 911. Then the National Suicide Hotline there is available 24/7. So there's that number, and then also a crisis line, a text line. And all you do there is just text 741-741.
Do they call you back or do they answer on text?
They answer. They answer right to you.
Text?
Yeah,
Okay.
by text.
A lot of people are maybe more comfortable with that.
I probably then, calling the National Suicide Hotline. Now, I did call that hotline, and just to confirm that it was still in existence, that I had the right number. And so, anyway, but yeah, somebody answered. And then the National Sexual Assault Hotline here, you would call that, of course, if you've been sexually assaulted. So, we just want to make sure that everybody, remains healthy and safe. My advice to you is please use the buddy system. Don't be out. Women, do not be out on campus walking alone at night. You should have somebody with you at all times. And the same for the guys. I mean, it works the same.
And you see on social media and different places that, well, I shouldn't have to worry about, can't guys or whoever, guys and women, assault other people? Why can't they just not do that? It's like, well, why does a criminal do what they do? It's, you
Right.
know, it's not right, but you do have some responsibility. You know, sometimes people don't want to hear that. You have some responsibility for your safety. Don't put yourself in a situation.
That's right.
Don't drink too much. Don't get, you know, pass out amongst strangers. Not with somebody there. Yeah, don't pass out. And especially alone. Have somebody there who can take you home, take care of you. You know, your roommate, somebody. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, and women, if you are out with your friends, you know, no, don't ever leave a friend behind, or don't ever let a friend leave with a stranger, somebody that they just met or that you don't even know. I mean, you've got to have each other's backs. You've got to look out for each other. If you come with a group of girls, then you leave with that group of girls. You don't leave with somebody else. So, you know, I agree with you. I think a lot of it's common sense and not putting yourself out there in harm's way.
Right.
And if you get inebriated and you're at a party, you know, you're putting yourself at risk for some trouble there, perhaps. You know, somebody can take advantage of you, and
It's not right, but
it's
hey,
not.
you know,
But and I'd say
you would be in better condition if you weren't inebriated.
yes. And so as friends, you know, friends don't let friends drive drunk, and you know, friends don't let friends get in trouble or have trouble, you know. So you just got to have each other's backs, and that's all there is to it.
Right.
You know, we
Take
gotta,
care of each other.
We got to look out for each other. Okay.
And if you do have a problem and you don't maybe want to call campus police or whatever, I'm sure you can go to Marlene or any.
Absolutely.
A lot of faculty people get close to students. Not weird.
No,
but they
no.
have good relationships with
Yes,
students.
yes.
And if you feel like, you know, whatever professor you know, then go ahead and talk to that
Talk
person.
to them,
They can
yes.
they can assess the situation, get you hooked up with help if you need it,
That's right.
you know, or if you just need somebody to talk to. Just about, I mean, you go from like the mail clerk to whoever on
Right.
campus. We are all here for the students.
Well, and there's something to say about a small college campus.
Sure, right.
You know, we generally know most of our students
Right.
and take an interest. So, all right. Well,
We're done for today.
thank you very
Stay
much.
safe and healthy, and thanks for watching.
Until next time, take care and be safe and healthy. Okay.